Tonight we take a look at The Lateness of the Hour, the 44th episode of The Twilight Zone, which features Inger Stevens as Jonna, a young woman concerned that her parents are too dependent on their seemingly perfect robot servants. I'm Cinematico Magnifico of amoralcrackpot.com, and welcome to the Nightly Chill. Originally airing on December 2nd, 1960, as part of the show's second season, The Lateness of the Hour is only one of 6 episodes shot on video rather than film, in a failed attempt by the studio to cut back on the show's rather high production costs. This resulted in a fairly distinct experience compared to the bulk of the series, with these episodes sharing a grainier and noisier audio-visual quality that perhaps dates them a bit more than others. More so, with its restrictive camera placements and limited sets, these episodes also share the appearance of a live stage play or soap opera. Fortunately, the performances and story are engaging enough to shine through the lower production values. Inger Stevens is wholly convincing in her role as the concerned yet somewhat selfish daughter of aging parents. The performers that portray the robotic servants believable enough as creations that are not entirely human, though character actor John Hoyt and Irene Tedrow are perhaps a little too hammy in their roles as Jonna's parents, Dr. and Mrs. Lauren. And while the idea of robots that are perhaps too human is nothing new, The Lateness of the Hour is an earlier example of this story, even predating Philip K. Dick's classic novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, by about 6 years. In an era where technology is so heavily relied upon for day-to-day activity, the moral and ethical questions presented by this story are every bit as relevant. The traditional twist at the end of this episode brings up even further questions about morality and ethics in the digital age, especially with the popularity of disposable technology. If Siri or Cortana were a bit more like the AI Samantha in Spike Jonze's movie Her, in which Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with the too human yet disembodied voice of Scarlett Johansson, would we be so willing to mistreat or replace our phones and other electronics? So in spite of its less than stellar appearance and a couple of arguably questionable performances, The Lateness of the Hour remains one of the Twilight Zone's and Rod Serling's most relevant works of science fiction. You can follow Amoral Crackpot on Facebook and Twitter, and also be sure to leave any questions, comments, and suggestions for future reviews in the comments section below, and maybe discuss today's movie at greater length. Tomorrow on the Nightly Chill, we take a look at All Cheerleaders Die, in which a group of high school cheerleaders find themselves unceremoniously killed, only to then be magically resurrected under somehow weirder circumstances. But until then, I'm gonna make like a tree and get out of here.